Welcome to a new session. Today we are going to study Ampere's circuital law and its applications. Using Biot-Savart law, we can find magnetic field due to a current element, be it a circular loop or a straight conductor. Another method to find magnetic field is to use Ampere's circuital law. It is a better option when we deal with complicated circuits. Ampere's circuital law is very much similar to Gauss' law in electrostatics. Ampere's circuital law states that the line integral of magnetic field over a closed loop is equal to mu 0 times the current enclosed by the loop. Let us try to explain the law. In the figure, we have three current carrying wires, first carrying current I1, second I2 and third I3. I1 and I3 are downwards and I2 upwards. Suppose we have to find magnetic field at a point near the wires. For that, we have to draw an Amperian loop around the wires. Here we can draw a circular loop around the wires. So this is our Amperian loop. Now we are going to take a small element of length dl on the loop. So this is the small element having length dl. Now we find b dot dl for this element. Similarly, we divide this Amperian loop into small elements of length dl and find b dot dl for the entire loop. Now current enclosed by the loop is I1 minus I2 because it is upwards plus I3. According to Ampere's circuital law, integral of b dot dl, that is b dot dl we have taken for all the elements around the loop. If we integral b dot dl over the closed loop, we get integral b dot dl is equal to mu 0 into current enclosed by the loop. This is Ampere's circuital law. Now we are going to use Ampere's circuital law to find magnetic field due to an infinitely long conductor. So here we have an infinitely long conductor carrying current I. P is a point at a distance r from the current carrying conductor. To find magnetic field at P using Ampere's circuital law, we have to draw an Amperian loop through P. So this is our Amperian loop. This is a circle of radius r and this is the direction we have taken for the loop. Now we consider a small element of length dl on the loop. We know that magnetic field around the current carrying conductor are circles around the conductor. So if we consider this small element dl, we can see that the direction of dl and b are same. So if we take b dot dl, we can write b dl cos 0 as the direction of b and dl are same for the small element taken. Cos 0 is 1, so we get b dl. We similarly take b dot dl for small elements of length dl on the loop. We can see that for all the elements we consider on the loop, the value of b dot dl is b dl, as b and dl both are in the same direction for all the elements. Now we are going to integrate b dot dl over the closed loop. Instead of b dot dl, we can write b dl. So integral b dl over the closed loop. Now we have taken b outside. We know that b is a constant because at a distance r from any direction, on any direction, value of b is constant. So b is a constant and is taken outside, and we have b into integral dl. If we integrate all the small dl's on this loop, we get the circumference of the loop, that is 2 pi r. So, integral B dot dl is equal to B into 2 pi r. Now, we are going to use Ampere's circuital law. Integral B dot dl is equal to mu 0 into current enclosed. Instead of integral B dot dl, we can write B into 2 pi r. On the right hand side, we have mu 0, and instead of current enclosed, we can write current I, because I is the current in the loop. So, we have B into 2 pi r is equal to mu 0 into I. Now, we are going to take 2 pi r downwards. Now, we have B is equal to mu 0 I by 2 pi r. So, this is the equation for magnetic field due to an infinitely long conductor at a distance r from the conductor. Now, we are going to use Ampere's circuital law to find magnetic field due to a solenoid. Solenoid is an instrument used to create high magnetic field. It consists of insulated copper wire wound on a frame in the form of a helix. The wires are very close to each other, but each wire can be considered as a circular loop. In the given figure, we have drawn each wire separately so that we can study the magnetic field due to each wire separately. Now, let us consider the first loop. Magnetic field due to this loop is like this. The second loop, magnetic field here goes upwards in this direction, comes downwards here. Here also magnetic field goes upwards and downwards here. If we consider region between the two loops, we can see that here magnetic field is upwards and here magnetic field is downwards. So, the magnetic field in the region between the two loops cancel each other. When we consider another two loops, adjacent loops, we can see that, let us take this loop. Here magnetic field is downwards in this direction, and due to the third loop upwards. So, in between again the magnetic field is 0. So, the magnetic field outside the solenoid is almost equal to 0. But inside we can see that all the magnetic field lines are in the same direction. So, they add up, and inside the solenoid we get parallel and strong magnetic field. Now, we are going to find magnetic field at a point P inside the solenoid. For that, we have to draw an Amperian loop through P. So, this is our Amperian loop ABCD. AB passes through the point P. Now, the length of AB and CD is h. Now, we are going to apply Ampere's circuital law to this Amperian loop. Now, integral B dot dl over the whole circle, we are going to divide it into 4. B dot dl from A to B, B dot dl from B to C, B dot dl from C to D, and B dot dl from D to A. Now, B dot dl is B dl cos theta. So, for AB we can write integral A to B, B dl cos theta. Here we can see that the direction of magnetic field and AB are in the same direction. So, instead of theta we can write 0. Now, let us consider the second part, that is BC. Here magnetic field is in this direction and direction of BC is upwards. That means we can write B dl cos 90. The angle is 90 between BC and magnetic field. Now, we will consider the third part, that is from C to D. From C to D we know that magnetic field here is almost equal to 0. So, instead of B we can write 0 here. And for the fourth part, that is from D to A, B dl and the angle between DA and B. DA is like this and magnetic field is towards right. So, cos 90. So we have integral a to b dot dl plus cos 90 is 0. So second part is 0. The third part b is 0. So this also becomes 0. And b dl cos 90 is 0. So the fourth part is also 0. So we get integral b dot dl is equal to integral a to b dl. So integral b dot dl over the closed loop is equal to integral a to b dl. The value of b is constant from a to b, so it is taken outside. Inside the integral we have a to b dl. Integrating all dl from a to b, we get the length of AB, that is h. So integral b dot dl is equal to bh. Now we are going to apply this to Ampere's circuital law. Integral b dot dl is equal to mu 0 into I enclosed. Now we have to find I enclosed. Just take the current in each turn to be I. N is the number of turns per unit length, that is number of turns when length L is 1. So for h length we have nh turns. So the number of turn is nh and current in each turn is I. Nhi gives the total current. So integral b dot dl is equal to mu 0 Nhi. From 1 and 2 we can write integral b dot dl equal to bh. So bh is equal to mu 0 into Nhi. We can cancel h from both sides. So b is equal to mu 0 Ni. This is the equation for magnetic field inside a solenoid. Now n is the number of turns per unit length, that is n is equal to total turns by length, that is capital N by capital L. Now we are going to the third application of Ampere's circuital law, toroid. Here we have a circular ring on which insulated wires are wound very close together. It forms a toroid. Here we have drawn some wires. If we draw all the wires, it will be difficult for us to explain. So instead of drawing wires, we are going to use dots and cross to represent wires. Dot represent wire coming up and cross represent wire going in. So here a wire come up and here a wire go inside. So all these dots represent wires coming up and all these cross represent wires going in. Now we have to find magnetic field at a point inside the toroid. P is the point here. It is at a distance r from the center of the toroid. To find magnetic field using Ampere's circuital law, we have to draw an Amperean loop through P. So the Amperean loop here is a circle of radius r. We know that magnetic field due to the toroid are also in the form of circles inside the toroid. Now we are going to consider a small element of length dl. The direction of dl and direction of b are in the same direction. So b dot dl equal to b dl cos theta or b dl cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. So b dot dl is equal to b dl. We can find b dl for small elements each of length dl throughout the loop, and we get b dot dl is equal to b dl in each case. Now we are going to integrate b dot dl over the closed loop. Instead of b dot dl we can write b dl. Now b is constant throughout the loop, so it is taken outside, and inside the integral we have dl. Now integrating all the small elements each of length dl, we get the circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r. So integral b dot dl is equal to b into 2 pi r. This is equation number 1. Now we are going to substitute this in Ampere's circuital law. integral B dot dl is equal to mu 0 into I enclosed. Here we can see that only half of the turn is inside the Amperian loop. For all the half turns we consider here, current will be going in the same direction. So, all the current can be taken as positive. So, I enclosed is equal to number of turns into current in one turn. Number of turns is taken as n and current in one turn is I. So, integral B dot dl is equal to mu 0 Ni. Now, from 1 and 2 we can write B into 2 pi r is equal to mu 0 Ni. We can take this 2 pi r downwards. B equal to mu 0 into n by 2 pi r into I. Instead of n by 2 pi r we can write small n. So, B equal to mu 0 Ni. This is the same equation as we got in the case of solenoid, but here small n is equal to total number of turns capital N by 2 pi r. Now, we are going to find magnetic field at a point Q outside the toroid. For that we have to draw an Amperian loop through Q. Again it is a circle around the toroid. Now, if we consider a loop inside the toroid, we can see that for half the circle current is coming upwards and for the other half current is downwards. First part can be considered as positive and second part as negative. So, for all the loops half will be positive and other half will be negative. So, if we substitute this value in Ampere's circuital law, we can write I enclosed equal to 0, because current coming up is taken as positive and current going down is taken as negative, which makes the total current enclosed 0. Substituting this value in 1, we get magnetic field B equal to 0. So, magnetic field at a point outside the toroid is 0. Now, we are going to find magnetic field at a point in the interior of the toroid. Here we have a point S inside the toroid. To find magnetic field at S, we are going to draw an Amperian loop. So, again it is a circle. We can see that the current carrying elements are outside the Amperian loop and inside the loop there is no current carrying element, that is current enclosed inside the Amperian loop is 0. Substituting this in Ampere's circuital law, we can write I enclosed equal to 0. So, we get B equal to 0, there is no magnetic field in the interior of the toroid.